So I finally made it to Bali, and this is actually my 4th time here. So in today's video, I wanted to ask the common questions I usually get asked when I tell people I'm coming to Bali, like what is the cost of living here, what is the visa process like, and how to avoid the dreaded Bali belly. So what are you waiting for? Come and check out my crib. My crib. Who do I think I am? So the most common question I get asked when I tell people I'm moving to Bali is obviously,
why Bali?
it's got nice food, nice weather, nice people, and it's just nice. I particularly like Canggu, which is where I'm staying now. There's so many sports and activities to do. You can surf, you can do CrossFit, you can do BJJ. And without spoiling the cost of living section, back in 2019 when I was here last time, I realised that I reckon I could live here off about £1,000 a month. Wait, did I just say I could live in Bali for £1,000 a month? That does sound a little far-fetched. Stay tuned to see if I'm a money budgeting genius or simply just a buffoon. Right, now that we know that I think Bali's nice, let's go to the office and answer the important questions. Starting with the visa process and how difficult is it to get a visa in Bali? It's literally the easiest thing in the whole wide world. If you want to stay for 30 days or less, you don't even have to do anything. You can get a visa upon arrival, which is about $500,000 IDR or about 25 British pounds. And this visa can actually be extended for another 30 days when you are in Bali for another $500,000 IDR or 25 British pounds. So if you want to stay in Bali for 60 days or less, this is the cheapest and easiest way to do it. Also, if I start to get really sweaty, I'm sat in what is basically a greenhouse with no AC on and all the windows closed to try and keep the traffic noise out, so I'll have to try and do this quickly. Even though you don't need to, I'd highly advise getting your visa on arrival before you arrive. And when you arrive at immigration, if you haven't sorted out your visa, the queue to get your visa is like 1 to 2 hours long, but if you've already sorted out your visa, you skip all the queue, you don't even speak to anyone at immigration, you just scan your visa like through a self-checkout thing and you're in the country. So if you want to stay longer than 60 days, you're going to need to get a 211A visa, and this is ironically a 60-day visa, but you can extend it twice for 60 days each time, giving you a total of 6 months. The 60-day visa is now all done online. The process takes about 2 weeks and I paid 3.35 million IDR. After researching a little bit more for this video, I did pay over the odds because I did mine through Bali.com and I found it a little bit cheaper through a company called BaliConsulting.com, and they charge 2.75 million. To extend your visa for 60 days, you then just need to get sponsored, and by sponsored, you basically just need to pay someone to extend your visa. They do this absolutely everywhere. They're even doing it at the hotel that I stay here. I'm not quite sure of the price just yet because I'm going to shop around and see if I can find the cheapest place, and then once I know, I'll let you guys know. So next we have the cost of living, and a question I often get asked is it a really extravagant, expensive holiday resort, or is it a budget-friendly travel place? And the answer is, it's really both. It depends where and how you want to spend your money while you're here. You can rent out your own luxury villa, which will probably set you back a few £1,000 a month, or a more humble co-living workspace abode like I'm staying at, which I'll show you around later. But however much you decide to spend, you're probably going to get more bang for your buck than you would back home. Well, depending where home is, but if you're from the UK, you're going to get more bang for your buck. Also, something that's changed since I was last here is that you can pay with card at a lot of places, and it actually works out cheaper than going to the ATM and being charged that extortionate fee to take out your money. Though I would suggest taking out a little bit of cash because you won't be able to use card everywhere like your local warungs, and it is also nice to tip people. So I just stepped outside to get some air and there's like some kind of heater outside, so I'm pretty much going to melt if I stay up here any longer. So I'm going to finish the video back down in my room. But while we're up here, why don't we have a quick look at the view? Yeah, so there's some rice fields, people on scooters. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's get to the room. So when it comes to renting things like accommodation, scooters or gym passes, whether you book them for a day, a week or a month will change the price dramatically. For example, this accommodation, which I'm just about to show you around, is 7 million IDR a month or about £350, but the weekly rate is 3.5 million, so it's double if you use the weekly rate, and the day rate I believe is double again. So if you are staying for a while and you can book things for 30 days, you're going to end up paying a lot less than you would if you're paying a daily or weekly rate. Also, when booking your accommodation, try and avoid third-party websites like booking.com. For example, this place on booking.com for 1 month right now is 12 million IDR, which is £250 more than if you just pay the hotel directly. So I guess right about now you guys are dying to have a look around my gaff, so let's do a little house tour. Okay, starting off where the magic happens. This is where I film my YouTube videos. So we've got a double bed with a side table and a lamp, and then a desk with a chair, a box, a TV that I've not turned on as I assume it's all Indonesian channels, which is fair enough. We are in Indonesia, a fairly sized fridge, which I store my coconuts and fruit. Then we have another side table and a fan that I did request myself because for some strange reason I can't sleep without a fan blowing on me. Next we have the ensuite bathroom slash wardrobe. So we've got a shower, which is a good shower, a toilet. We got a bidet. I'm not used to bidets, but are they always this powerful? I mean, whew, this thing really gets up there. And then we have a mirror, sink, and yeah, my wardrobe with my bits and bobs. And then this is a view from outside of my room. Very nice. Next we have the co-working space, which is the main reason I booked this place, because I thought it'd be good to have somewhere to work and be a great way to meet people. But as you can see, it's not the most sociable place. This is a view from the roof, and you can see the pool and Lilo. This is the gym. You've got a treadmill, some kind of exercise machine and some dumbbells. This is a view from outside my room. I love the plants. It kind of gives you a tropical vibe, and that net curtain prevents people from seeing you from the inside when you're sat in your pants watching YouTube. Next we have the communal kitchen. This is where most people hang out in the evening. I don't do much cooking, but someone must have known I was coming because some legend left a full family box of Yorkshire tea on the shelf. Though I am struggling to find a milk here, as they all seem to have loads of sugar in for some reason. You also have unlimited water, so living the dream. And finally I'll show you my fresh whip, which for £42 a month I get access to this bad boy. And now it's time for the highly anticipated budget section, where you can find out whether I'm a genius or a buffoon, though you've probably already made up your mind about that one. So I mentioned earlier that I reckon I can live in Bali for about £1,000 a month, so now it's time to break down my monthly budget. £350 goes towards my accommodation and co-working space. I pay £50 for the scooter hire plus petrol. I put aside about £400 or £100 a week for food, £50 miscellaneous, and £150 goes to my CrossFit Wanderlust gym pass, which is not only a gym, also has classes every single day, as well as a recovery centre which has an ice bath, sauna, and a hot tub. Next up, and probably one of my favourite things about Bali, is the food. Local delicacies include nasi goreng, gado-gado, and nasi campur, and they're all basically a mixture of rice, veggies, and tofu, tempeh, and chicken. I mean, what's not to love? Similar to accommodation, food can be as cheap or as expensive as you're willing to pay, and even expensive isn't that expensive. But if you really want to experience the real Bali, you're best going off to your local warung. These places usually consist of a buffet style layout, and you just point at what you want, and the final price is always between like 20 to 50k. Actually, rather than just tell you about it, why don't I take you along and show you in person or through a camera? You know, I've been dying to use my new action camera.
That is typical, literally the first time it's been closed. But do you know what? I'm gonna go and see my coconut lady. One coconut. Thank you.
That is typical. I was planning on finishing the video with a little bit of a mukbang, but Bali is known for places just closing randomly with no reasons why. But I did go and see my local coconut lady, and you can get a coconut for 12,000, which is like 60p. And I've been drinking at least one of these a day, and because it's so hot, it's literally like natural electrolytes and So similar to accommodation and everything else, food can be as expensive or as cheap as you're willing to pay. But local warongs, if you want to eat the Indonesian food, you're looking at around 25 to 50k. And then more westernized meals, you're looking up to around 100k. Or if you want to go all out, and the most expensive place you could probably find here is around 250k, which is about £12.50. But it's not just the warongs that are cheap. Like I went for breakfast at this place the other day, and for 55k, I got toast, one whole avocado, which 2 poached eggs, tempeh, beans, and like a really nice salad, and that was like 55k. And I've been to a lot of places, and I usually pay around 60 to 80k when I'm feeling extravagant, and the food is Ooh. I also get asked about Bali belly, and out of all the places in Asia I've travelled, Bali is literally the only place where I've never experienced Bali belly. It's really hygienic here, even eating at warongs, I've never had any issues. Though I do personally travel with diarrhea tablets and advise that you do too, because if you do get strucken down in your prime, the one thing you can't do when you've got diarrhea is go out and buy diarrhea tablets, so just make sure you got some stocked. And for the final question, what are my plans while I'm here or after I'm here? And I honestly don't really have a plan whatsoever.
The older you do get, the more rules are gonna try to get you to follow. You just gotta keep living, man.
So that's going to be it for the video. If there's any questions I didn't cover, please drop them in the comments below and I'll get back to you, and I'm going to head out and try and make some mates.